and breathe. Wow, man, that was a tough watch, man. That was a tough watch, especially in that second half, man. That my heart just was like that whole time. It just had me nervous that Rayo Vallecano were gonna get the equalizer, but thankfully that did not happen. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona getting 1-0 victory over Rayo Vallecano. Goal from Ronald Araujo, and a massive 3 points for Barcelona to keep their lead ahead of Real Madrid for this La Liga title race, especially in anticipation of what's going to happen later today with the Madrid the derby. So hopefully things go our way later today, where Atletico Madrid can get the victory, because if Atletico get the win today, it doesn't really matter for us because they'll be up to 60 points. They'll still be 30 points behind us. We don't care about them. Obviously, the title race is against Real Madrid, so hopefully Atletico get the job done today at the Bernabeu, but we'll see. It's going to be a very tough matchup for both teams, but we'll see how that game ends. But nonetheless, Barcelona had to get the job done earlier today to keep the lead ahead of Real Madrid, and we did get the job today. Was it a pretty game? No, it was not a beautiful game at all from Barcelona. We struggled a lot throughout this game. It was a very tough matchup. Going against Rayo Vallecano, we already know it's always going to be a tough matchup. Earlier this season, we went away to them and we tied with the 1-1, and obviously going to having them today at the Camp Nou is always going to be a tough matchup as well. They have very intelligent players, an intelligent manager. They know how to set up pretty well against us. They know how to, obviously find vulnerable areas in our defense, especially with the high line. So best believe it was going to be a tough matchup, but the important thing is that we walked away with 3 points. We can't expect Barcelona to play 10 out of 10 performances every game, especially after coming from such a tough matchup against Newcastle, a very stressful match, where, of course, at the end we ended up spanking Newcastle, but still it was a tough matchup, especially against such a physical team like Newcastle. Best believe the players were going to go in tired, especially since Hansi Flick didn't really make much rotations compared to what he put up against Newcastle. But for the most part, we just knew this team was going to be tired going into this matchup, which is understandable. But at the end, getting the victory like the way we did, fair enough. Again, not the best, but at least we walked away with the 3 points. But the lineup that Hansi Flick decided to go for today was Joan Garcia in goal, back in Araujo, Paco Barci, Gerard Martin, Joao Cancelo, midfielder Pedri Gonzalez, Marc Bernard, Fermin Lopez, and up top Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal. So basically, exactly the same lineup that we went up against Newcastle, that we just came from playing them in the Champions League. So again, it's understandable that these players can be tired, that they're not going to be 100% sharp. Again, a very tough matchup against Newcastle, going tired in this game. But of course, Rayo Vallecano, have similar things as well, considering they just came from a Conference League game, losing on Thursday as well. So they were pretty tired as well. But again, it's just a matter of, this is going to happen. This is bound to happen. These type of games are bound to happen, where Barcelona aren't going to be perfect, but the most important thing is walking away with the victory. But yeah, solid enough from Barcelona. Hansi Flick doesn't hold anything back. He wants to go full out and try to get this dub early in this game as much as he can. And for the most part, in the first half, it was all right from Barcelona. I thought first half was definitely far better than the second half. First half, we created a lot of chances that we were very wasteful in. But for the most part, I thought first half we did very well. Obviously, Rayo Vallecano started off very strong, like the first 5 minutes, where they had literally a minute in, almost could have scored on us, but Joan Garcia comes up big with a massive save. Rayo Vallecano broke us down way too easily right there, but thankfully, again, we have this freak of nature in goal, Joan Garcia, who saves us from going 1-0 down. But from there, I say the first 10 minutes, Rayo Vallecano were doing well, breaking us down, holding possession of the ball. They weren't making it easy for us, but then after that, we started getting into our game, we started getting into our rhythm, and for the most part in the first half, I'd say that we were the better team. We're creating the most chances as well, with Rafinha having the most chances throughout this game, where he had one counterattack where Rayo Vallecano lose the ball in their own half. We had a counterattack where Rafinha hits it wide with his right foot. He should be scoring that. I can understand that it's his right foot, but come on, bro. Rafinha has shown that he can score with both feet. He should be scoring that, but unfortunately, he hits it wide. Another shot, Lamine Yamal crosses into the box, and Rafinha gets a foot onto it. If he got a good foot onto it, he probably could have crossed it into Lewa to potentially for a tap in, but Rafinha gets a foot onto it and forces the goalkeeper to make a great save. And another one where Rafinha takes a shot, it takes a bit of a deflection, and Batalla, again, their goalkeeper, comes up with a big save and hits the crossbar. But yeah, we were very wasteful in a lot of our attacks, or very wasteful in a lot of our chances. But the one chance we did get was from a corner kick where Joao Cancelo whips it in for Ronald Araujo, who wins it in the back post, beating Cisse for the ball, and it gets us into the game 1-0 for Barcelona for a header from Ronald Araujo, who is scoring with such confidence. That's what we love to see from Ronald Araujo. I was expecting Araujo to play as a center back today, but Hansi Flick decided to continue playing him as a right back, which is understandable, which tells me a couple things. One, He loves Gerard Martin as a center back. Hansi Flick loves Gerard Martin more as a center back than he does as a fullback, which is understandable because Gerard Martin has been excellent as a center back. I thought this game as well was great. He loves Cancelo as a left back as well, and obviously doesn't want to change anything up, and he wants to keep Cancelo on the left instead of putting him on the right, because you would think if you're going to play Araujo, if you're going to start Araujo, you would play him as a center back, then Gerard Martin as a left back, then Cancelo as a right back, because obviously those are the natural positions. But no, Hansi Flick decided to go for Araujo as a right back, which for the most part was the great decision because Araujo had some good recovery moments, had some good moments where he had to use his pace and his power to, beat the left-hand side of the left flank of Rayo's attack, and obviously played with a lot of confidence, especially since João Cancelo on the left-hand side was excellent today. For the most part, again, second half was just a completely different story, but first half, for the most part, I thought everyone did well. The only criticism I would give from the first half was Rafinha a bit in his final decision-making in the final third, and Lamine Yamal, who didn't do anything for the most part in that first half and throughout this game. I think Lamine had a very disappointing game today. Again, I'm not going to blame him. He's probably tired. He's probably not 100%. You can't expect these players to be 100% after coming from such a difficult matchup. But you expect a little bit more from them. But still, okay, whatever. We still got the win. That's the most important thing. But for the most part, I thought everyone was excellent in that first half. Pedri was great. Bernal was great. Firmino started off a bit slow. Then he started getting to the game, and his link-up play was far better. His attack was far better. Firmino did better going into the final minutes of the first half, like the last 20 minutes of the first half, I would say. Lewa, he was all right. He had some good link-up play. He didn't really make many mistakes that he usually tends to make, which was great for him. Obviously, gets subbed at halftime, but for the most part, Lewo did all right. But everyone else was great. Cancelo, defensive masterclass in the first half. He was shutting down that left hand side on his end, but he was great today defensively. And for the most part, everyone else was great in that first half. So positives going into this, I say that like the last 5 minutes, Rayo Vallecano started attacking us a little bit more, started getting a little bit chances because we had a good span of 20-25 minutes where we just shutting them down. They were creating no options, but I said the last 5 minutes of the first half they started to attack us a little bit more, which tends to be a thing with Barcelona, where like once we're like nearing the end of the game, once we're nearing the end of halftime, we just like start taking it slow, which is unacceptable. We shouldn't be doing that. But again, for the most part, first half was great for Barcelona. We were the better team, and now expecting in the second half, to turn it up, because again, we want to score as many goals and try to finish this game off as early as possible. Because as much as Rayo Vallecano have shown that they don't have the best quality, which we saw throughout this game, because they definitely had their chances, it's still a matter of you give them multiple chances. Eventually, they'll take one. So we had to do better in the second half. First couple of minutes, obviously going into halftime, the only change that Hansi Flick made was taking off Lewandowski for Ferran Torres. He starts Ferran Torres in the second half, takes off Lewa. But besides that, didn't make any other changes. But the first 10 minutes of the second half, we were doing well. We were attacking. We were putting good pressure on Rayo Vallecano, and taking some, having some chances. Not anything clear cut. I wouldn't say anything clear cut. I would say that was the major problem in the second half, where clear cut chances were non-existent. We were not great in attack whatsoever, but we were attacking them. We were putting pressure on Rayo. We started off very strong. But then after that, I don't know what just happened. We just completely shut down. We just completely turned off a gear, and Rayo Vallecano turned up a gear, where they were just attacking us. There was a segment of 3 corner kicks in a row where João Garcia had to come up huge, saving us more in those 3 occasions. I'm just like, bro, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing? Our defense was just all over the place those final minutes of the second half, man. Rayo were just attacking us with such confidence. Anytime we recovered the ball, we were just so wasteful with it, just giving it up immediately. Our attack was non-existent. The players that came in to try and help us out didn't do enough either, like the likes of Dani Olmo, who came off he was awful when he came on. Ferran Torres, he had some moments where he put pressure on, but come on, man, he's just been so off it these last couple games, man. Casado comes in, all right, helps up more defensive work, but nothing too impressive from him. Rashford actually comes in, brings a little bit of a spark for Barcelona towards the dying ends of the game, but probably need a little bit more going forward. And spark just comes in for the last couple minutes. He did pretty solid when he came in, actually. But yeah, I don't know what happened, bro. Our hold-up play was awful. We were giving balls away too easily. Rayo Vallecano, actually, kudos to them as well. They put a good amount of pressure on us to make, to force us to make these mistakes. But Barcelona were just nowhere near good enough in that second half, man. We were just so lazy in that second half, man. Making lazy passes, giving balls away so easily, where we just allow Rayo Vallecano to attack us multiple times. They had multiple times, and the clearest chance they had in that second half was an attack from a substitute they actually brought in from Pacho Espino, who comes in. A great running behind, completely onside. He opens his body up to take the shot to try and curl it in past John Garcia, but thankfully he skies it, because that should have been a goal every single day of the week. If we went up against a team that had better quality up top, that should be a goal every single day of the week. But thankfully he skies it. If he had scored that, I wouldn't have blamed John Garcia for not making that kind of save, because that was a very easy chance for Rayo Vallecano to bring themselves back into the game. But thankfully Espino skies it. But besides that, again, they had multiple chances. They were getting through our box way too easily. Joan Garcia comes up big and ends up with the man of the match for that particular reason. Because when you look at the first half and the second half, completely different stories. Where first half, again, Rayo got through us a couple of times. They made some good crosses where John Garcia comes up big with those crosses. That was the great thing for him, John Garcia, today. His coming out for crosses today, especially the low crosses, he was great today at that. He was excellent today at that, shutting a lot of those attacks down from Rayo Vallecano. But looking at both halves, first half, Rayo Vallecano, besides that first dangerous chance they had in the beginning, didn't really cause many problems. Again, some good crosses in, but nothing major, where it was pretty standard from John Garcia right there. But second half, John Garcia had to come up even bigger for that. That's just how much of an influence he can be in that quick of a second in a game, where one half you're doing all right defensively, in the second half you're just completely all over the place, where your goalkeeper has to be your main savior. And that's why John Garcia comes up big and ends up with the man of the match, deservedly so, because he definitely saved us from conceding multiple chances throughout this game, because Barcelona's defense after that just went all over the place. And again, the main thing that pissed me off was how easily we just giving balls away for Rayo Vallecano to just completely be all over us, man. Just not good enough from Barcelona. But hey, man, these are the kind of games we have to suffer through. These are the kind of games we have to go through. We can't be perfect every single game, but at the end, still walking away with 3 points, even when you're suffering, is a great thing. So thankfully, we still walk away with the 3 points. Barcelona get a major 3 points. Not the best performance, but hey, what can you do? Going over the individuals, Joan Garcia, excellent game, beautiful game, amazing as always, coming up big for Barcelona as always. The back line, I think for the first half we were excellent. Second half we were just all over the place. They were running through us way too easily, but for the most part, in possession. When we had to have one-on-one individual duels, I thought for the most part our whole defense was pretty solid. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of those just dying minutes just changed up everything. Like, I was pissed during the stream because I thought for the most part we were doing well defensively, and everyone was having a great game in the defense. But then those little moments, those a span of 5-10 minutes where you're just getting cooked, you're just like, what is going on here? Just change the whole narrative. But for the most part, I thought we were doing pretty well. John Cancelo, again, he had a lot of great tackles, made a lot of great defensive contributions. Going forward, but defensively solid. Same thing with Rajo. Our fullbacks were great today in the first half, especially. But for the most part, throughout the game, Gerard Martin Cubarsí made some great tackles, great passes as well, as they usually tend to do. Great from them. Pedri, he had his moments. I thought first half he was good. Second half, slowed down a lot. He's looking a little bit sluggish. He's looking a little bit slow. I don't know what's going on with Pedri, but it's understandable. But he's coming from an injury, and he's playing a lot of the big games, a lot of the major games since coming back from his injuries. Understandable, he'll be tired, right? So hopefully Frankie comes back soon. Bernal, pretty solid. Comes off in around the 68th minute. Pretty solid performance from him. Firmino, same thing. Pretty solid performance from both. Rafinha, good performance, made some good, again, he created a lot of chances. He had a lot of chances coming to him. There was this one chance where he takes the ball off the goalkeeper, and he just takes too long for making the cross into the box, and we lose that chance to go up 2-0. But did all right. Lewa, he was decent. And Lamine, not the best, man. I know people would be like, oh, it was a penalty over here. That was not a penalty. He dove for that. But Lamine, not the greatest performance today. He came off a bit disappointed as well. Ferran, not great when he came on. Daniel Olmo, not great at all. Casado helps out defensively. Rashford had some solid moments. And Xavi Espart, pretty solid with coming in with confidence to kill off this game. But at the end, guys, the most important thing is to get the win, and that's exactly what we got. And now we're going into international break. Hopefully, these players, come back after international break a little bit mentally, more focused, and obviously not too tired. Hopefully, during the international break, they don't get killed. Obviously, they're friendly, so they really shouldn't. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, and God willing, no major injury to any of our players who got called up for international duty. But again, guys, the most important thing is getting the dub, and that's what we got, because the next game for Barcelona will of course be Atletico Madrid for La Liga, so best believe it's going to be a tough matchup and a preview for what's to come in the Champions League. But yeah, guys, the most important thing again, major 3 points. We're ahead by 6 points ahead of what's it called, not 6 points, 7 points ahead of Real Madrid right now. So we're chilling right now. We're vibing. But we'll see what happens later today with Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby. Hopefully everything goes our way for that game. But yeah, guys, that was the video for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match? I'm giving it to Joan Garcia. Obviously, he came out beautifully for us. And again, just your overall thoughts about the game down below in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share the friends, love football, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Whenever it is, much love. Take care. Peace.